garden is changing and growing and evolving. It's a project that's going on here for our faith family. Did you know that there was a time at this church when that walled garden on the west side wasn't there? This is a picture. Look at this. You see it's not there. So this is an older picture. I don't know the date that this picture was taken, but do you see that the building ends? There's no walled garden on the west side. It was around, I'm told, the early 90s, 90, 91, that the Memorial Garden was built. And so this next picture shows it. See, that's what it looks kind of like today. It's got this wall around it, and there's bushes in front of it. It goes just a little space there. And then inside it, have you all been inside it? Have you been inside it? Have you been inside it? Look what's inside it. So this is inside the center of it. This is actually called a columbarium. So the whole garden is called the Memorial Garden. And inside this structure, this brick structure, there are, and we took the second graders, we take the second graders every year into this space. We talk about this as a different kind of cemetery. This is our kirkyard. This is our churchyard where people have chosen who have had very meaningful relationships with the church. They've chosen to inter their ashes here. So if you see inside that brick wall, there actually, I don't think we have a close-up, but there actually are stones like you would see at the cemetery with names and birth dates and death dates, and they are on all four sides. And that's called a columbarium. And then there's a beautiful tree that's in the center of it. Now, at the side corners, there are other ways that people are remembered in this garden. This is a tree that has been planted in the memory of Cal Poppink, who was, Martha is one of the original people who put this memorial garden together, and this was her first husband, Cal, and this is his tree, and he's got his plate underneath it. And so this is one of the corners. Another corner has another tree that you'll see in just a moment. This is an angel to the memory of Joan Roberts. We just sang a song, and this is an angel in the garden to her memory. There's also a plaque on the wall, one of the walls of the garden. Another way that people can be interred, their ashes interred in this garden, is sprinkled into one of the memorial gardens. So not actually in a box or in what we call a niche, but sprinkled right into the ground. So if people want to have a much more organic way to bring life from death, then ashes can be sprinkled in those corner gardens. And so people's names are there as they are interred in that way. So now, this is where the evolution starts. So maybe you saw backhoes out there. We have had a major renovation work going on over there with regard to the way that water comes from the gutters and flows out now away from the foundation of the building. So it used to be, you guys, that water would come and flow right down at the base of the building, and it was eroding the foundation of our building. And so we had an organization come in, a company come in and reroute this water so they had to dig up and put in new piping, and so that's what was going on there for a while. You can see where some of the downspout work is, and it now, so that it now takes the water right out from away from the building. That was the first part of our renovation work in that garden. And so you can see it here. It's coming out away from the building. We're really grateful for that, because it was not only eroding the foundation of our building, but it was also making it very wet and muddy and yucky to stand in that space. So this is the new plan of the garden, just as a design. So you can see those two corner gardens and the columbarium in the center. And then see that stair, there's a little box that says stairway covered. Does it say stairway, covered stairway? That goes, where does that go? Anybody that is you guys here, where does that go? To the grotto. That goes down to the grotto, that covered stairway. It looks like a shed. It's actually a cover to the stairway that goes out to the grotto. So that's what, and then all of that gray space, that's going to be new paved space so that it's a hard surface accessible to people in wheelchairs or in walkers or in heels or, and any number of things. We'll have chairs able to go out there much more stably. It's going to be a beautiful space. And you can see now with some of the other artist drawings. So see how this now looks as a paved courtyard. This is one of the corner gardens this is just an artist rendition of it. So it's not the exact plants that will be there, but you see there's a memorial bench there. This is the other side of the garden where there's a tree there for Tommy Ayudo is remembered in that garden. So that's just, and then coming at it from another angle, coming in, you see the columbarium and you see the paved courtyard. What kinds of things do you think might happen there? I'm thinking the coffee hour. I'm thinking we might have some evening Vesper services out there. We can easily bring out chairs and candles. This is okay. This is the side of an angle into the garden that shows that side of the covered stairway. You see, it looks sort of like a shed. Well, look at this. This next picture. You know what a barn quilt is? This is the tree of life in a barn quilt, and Ellen Lee Sadler is going to be making that for us. This is her design. Isn't that beautiful? So if you're sitting on that bench, I know, thank you. If you're sitting on the bench in that garden, so you won't see this from Chicago Boulevard, right? Because it's a walled garden. But if you're sitting on that bench, instead of seeing that solid beige shed kind of wall, you'll see this. It's going to be, I think, 4 foot by 4 foot. Is that right? Yeah, so it'll cover up a good portion of that wall. So thank you so much for that. So this is the project that's going on. It's an evolution. When I took the last group of 7